My name is Marilyn Grant, as she said, and I have a son on death row in the state of Texas. I'm going to go back and start this over from the beginning. First, I want to give honor to God for me making it this year. It was so many obstacles in my way in getting here, but I continue to believe that God would take me and He would carry me, and here I am. So I want to first give honor to Him, first of all. And I have a son. His name is Paul Story, and he is on Texas death row. I'm going to pass this T-shirt around. This T-shirt was created by his younger brother, and it's just the kind of you putting his face and knowing. And a statement on that shirt, and it just states that a man's life is more valuable than another man can judge, and we don't have a right to judge or to take life away. Paul is on death row. He's been there, it'll be 8 years. September. He is under the lower parties, and in the state of Texas, the lower parties is basically if I go into a store and you're with me and I kill someone, you're still liable for the same level of punishment that I receive. And they created that law so that they can charge more individuals that's in a multi-crime situation. Paul was a mentor at an alternative school in Fort Worth, and he had a student, and the student currently did not have a place to stay. So Paul came home and he asked that individual can stay with us a couple of days so he can locate his family that was in the next city, and I allowed him to. But after a couple of days there, I just really felt uneasy about that individual, and I told Paul that he needed to leave our home. And a couple of days after that, this young man, not knowing, had already planned to commit a robbery with some more individuals, but those individuals backed out at the last minute. So he came to Paul and he threatened him, and he's like, I know your mom, I know your brother, and if you don't commit this crime with me, then I can kill them, because he was involved in gang activities. So Paul went thinking that it was just supposed to be a robbery. However, the young man that was with him frequent this. It was a putt-putt golfing game, and he used to go every day, basically, and he became friends with the manager, and he learned the layouts of the store. So that's kind of like how he was planning the robbery, because he was familiarizing and making himself a friend with the manager. The manager of the store that particular day was supposed to be off, but when they went to commit the crime, the manager was there, and knowing that the manager would recognize him, he killed him. And so, of course, they left the scene. Paul being convicted, he did turn himself in. And not only did he turn himself in, he turned the other young man, his name was Mark, he turned him in as well. And him going to the police station, they took him in, and they said, well, if you go ahead and make this confession, and Paul said, well, shouldn't I have a lawyer? They said, oh, don't worry about a lawyer, because this is your first offense. You don't even have a traffic ticket that the judge is going to be very likely on you. He'll probably give you probation. But, of course, we all know that's a lie. They offered Paul a plea of life without parole. He did not accept it. He chose to go to trial, because he says, I didn't kill anyone, and I'm not going to sign anything to say that I did. And of course, we went to trial, and we were handed down the sentence of the death penalty. Paul's trial has been going very quickly. He is already actually in the Supreme Court. He's been kicked out of the Fifth Circuit of Appeal, and if it continues to go as planned, usually history shows that within 8 months he will probably receive a date. However, I wanted to share with everyone tonight that I got a call last Wednesday from an attorney here in Washington that's going to take on Paul's case pro bono. And we are extremely happy for that. His statement was that basically the lawyers in Texas hasn't done, excuse my French, shit. And of course, we know that. And I am so incredibly blessed. And I'm meeting with him this Wednesday. to go over some of the details and everything. And he's hoping that as he told me, he's already has 4 lawsuits that he's filing against Texas to slow this process down. And as I say, I'm just really, really happy to get that news, because, as I said, Paul he's only been there 7 years to be already at the point of getting the execution date. That just shows they're just pushing him through the system. So I just want to thank each and every last one of you for the work that you do against the death penalty. You're not even having anyone that's on death row, but you're there and you're fighting, and there's a special place in heaven for people like you. And I just want to say, from the bottom of a mother's heart, thank you very much.
No questions. Marilyn, we'll take questions if anyone has one.
How long has he been on death row?
The question was, how long has Paul been on death row?
This September will make 8 years. So he's actually, up until a couple of weeks ago, he was extremely depressed. There was just...
The question was, how is he doing?
Up until a couple of weeks ago, he was really depressed. There was just recently a young man exonerated in Texas, released. They don't like to use that word exonerated because they have to pay. So, and he was a personal friend of his. So I went to go see him just before coming here, and he was just saying, Mom, that has renewed my faith. It has given me more courage to run on just a little bit longer. So.
Texas, got the right idea. Texas. Kill them fast and kill them a lot.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
God bless you.
Is there any more questions?
Does he have brothers and sisters?
Bill's questions was, does he have brothers and sisters? Yes, he does. He has a younger brother. Actually, his younger brother is the one who created that T-shirt, and he was in the U.S. Navy. So I said, I have one that's fighting to save the country and one the country is trying to kill. So there you go.
My name is Jack Graham. I'm death row survivor. I'm 30 years of my life in prison, and I was scheduled to die at some point. I just
Thank you. Thank you, Suja. I love you. Is there any more questions?
Is there any movement to change the law that got your son on death row, like they accomplished?
They have filed several bills in the House to try to change the law of parties. And that law was created, I don't know if you all remember, the Texas 7 was the 7 inmates that they broke out of prison and they killed their off-duty police officer. And they wanted to charge all 7 of those individuals with the same crime. So what they did is they created this bill they call the law of parties. That way they can give each and every last one of them the death sentence. And I think they've killed one committed murder, suicide, 3 has been executed, and I think there's 3 left.
Marilyn, what's the status of the killer?
Oh, the actual killer in this case took a plea, and he's in general population.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? No. Thank you very much.